Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope your day is peaceful. Today I want to tell you a very special story. Imagine a queen living in a palace by the sea. The wind blows gently. The waves are calm, but inside the palace, there is danger everywhere. There is power. There are schemes. There are secrets no one knows. This queen is very beautiful. She is very intelligent. She lived more than 2000 years ago. She met the most powerful men in the world. She made big decisions. Some were right, some were wrong. Her life was not easy. This is not just a story. This is a journey. And today we will go through that journey together. Her name is Cleopatra. If you enjoy stories like this, please subscribe to the channel. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC. She was born in Egypt in a city called Alexandria. It was a very beautiful city by the sea. The city had many tall buildings. It had a very large library. Many intelligent people lived there. There were scientists, artists, and scholars. Cleopatra's father was King Ptolemy XII. Her family was not Egyptian. They were Greek. They had come to Egypt many years before and had ruled the country for a long time. Cleopatra had siblings, but her family was not happy. In the family, brothers and sisters often married each other. This was a royal tradition, but it created many problems. People fought for power. Everyone wanted to become king or queen. When she was young, Cleopatra loved to learn. She was always curious about the world. She asked many questions. She studied every day. She learned to read and write very well. She could speak many languages. She spoke Greek, and she also learned Egyptian. This was very special. Many other rulers did not learn the Egyptian language, but Cleopatra was different. She wanted to speak with her people. She wanted them to understand her, and she wanted to understand them. She also studied science. She learned mathematics and philosophy. She read many books and thought deeply. Many people said she was the smartest person in the palace. Maybe she was the smartest person in Egypt at that time, but being intelligent was not enough. Egypt was facing many problems. The country was no longer as strong as before. At the same time, Rome was becoming more powerful. Rome was a city far away, but its army was everywhere. They controlled many lands. Everyone feared Rome. Egypt was very rich, but it was weak. Cleopatra's father knew this. He tried to befriend Rome. He sent money and gifts. But the Romans did not respect him. They mocked him. They looked down on him. This made the situation worse. Cleopatra grew up in a world full of pressure. She understood that if she was not strong, she would lose everything. When Cleopatra was 18 years old, her father died. This was in 51 BC. Now she became queen. But there was a big problem. She had to share power with her younger brother. His name was Ptolemy XIII. He was only 10 years old. This was the tradition, a king and a queen ruling together. But Cleopatra did not want to share power. She was strong and intelligent while her brother was still too young. At first, everything seemed fine, but in reality, the power was in Cleopatra's hands. This made many people unhappy. They began to turn against her, and danger was getting closer every day. Things started to change. Cleopatra gained more and more power. She made decisions. She spoke with foreign leaders. She controlled the money. Her brother was only a name, but his advisors did not like this. They wanted control. They did not want a strong queen. They began to speak badly about Cleopatra. They said she was dangerous. They said she did not respect tradition. Slowly they turned the people against her. The pressure grew stronger. Finally, Cleopatra was forced to leave Egypt. She had to flee. She went to Syria. At that time, she was only 21 years old. She lost everything. She lost the throne and her power. But she did not lose her will. In her heart, a plan was beginning to form. But Cleopatra did not sit still and cry. She did not give up. In Syria, she began to rebuild everything. She needed an army. She needed money. She needed help. She met local leaders. She talked to them. She persuaded them. She made promises. Step by step, she gathered soldiers. She prepared to return. She wanted to take back her throne. At the same time, a major event was happening in Egypt. A Roman general arrived. He was very famous. He was very powerful. His name was Julius Caesar. His arrival would completely change Cleopatra's story. Cleopatra heard that Caesar was in Egypt. She understood this was her only chance. If he helped her, she could return to the throne. But there was a big problem. Her enemies controlled the city. If she entered, she could be killed. But Cleopatra was very intelligent. She came up with a bold plan. One night she secretly went to the palace. She did not go as a queen. She hid inside a large carpet. Her people carried the carpet into Caesar's room. When they opened it, Cleopatra appeared. Caesar was surprised, but he was also impressed. In front of him was a brave woman, someone willing to risk her life to change her destiny. Cleopatra spoke with Caesar. She spoke in Latin. She spoke clearly and intelligently. She told him about the situation in Egypt. She spoke about those who were against her. She said she was the rightful queen. Caesar listened. He was fascinated. He saw that she was different, a young woman, but very strong. Slowly they became closer. Some say they fell in love. Others say it was an alliance. Maybe it was both. In the end, Caesar decided to help Cleopatra. He said she would return as queen, but this led to war. Her enemies did not accept it. A battle began inside the city. The war was intense. Cleopatra and Caesar were trapped inside the palace. They had few soldiers. Their enemies surrounded them. Fires burned in the city. Many ships were destroyed. Smoke covered the sky. The battle lasted for months. Finally, Roman reinforcements arrived. They defeated the army of Cleopatra's brother. The boy tried to escape, but his boat sank in the Nile. He died in the water. Cleopatra returned to the throne. She was queen again. Caesar helped her win. From an exiled ruler, she came back stronger than ever. But this was not the end. It was only the beginning of greater changes. After the victory, Cleopatra and Julius Caesar spent much time together. They traveled along the Nile. They talked about history. They talked about science. Cleopatra felt stronger than ever. Not long after she had a son, she named him Caesarion, meaning Little Caesar. Cleopatra said Caesar was the father. This was very important. It gave her more power. Later, Cleopatra went to Rome. She wanted people to see her. She wanted respect. But not everyone liked it. Many Romans did not like a foreign queen. And then a major event was about to happen. In 44 BC, something terrible happened. Julius Caesar was assassinated. He was killed by Roman senators. They stabbed him many times. They feared he would become king. They wanted to keep power for themselves. His death changed everything. Cleopatra was in Rome at that time. She was afraid. She no longer had protection. She did not know what would happen next. Immediately she left Rome. She took her son back to Egypt. She needed safety. She needed to think again. But the world did not stop. A new war was beginning. And Cleopatra once again stood in the middle of dangerous choices. After Caesar's death, Rome fell into chaos. Many wanted power. One of them was Mark Antony. He was a strong general and a friend of Caesar. Antony and Octavian defeated their enemies. Then they divided power. Antony controlled the east. He needed money for his army, and Egypt was very rich. So he wanted to meet Cleopatra. They met in a city called Tarsus. Cleopatra arrived on a beautiful ship with purple sails and silver oars. She wore magnificent clothes. She looked like a goddess. Antony was immediately captivated. Cleopatra and Mark Antony quickly became close. They spent a lot of time together. They held grand feasts. They enjoyed life. But behind it was a political alliance. Antony needed Egypt's wealth. Cleopatra needed Rome's protection. They helped each other. They had 3 children together, twins, and another child later. But this relationship made many people unhappy, especially Octavian. He did not trust Antony. He began to speak badly about Cleopatra. He said she was dangerous. He said she wanted to control Rome. Slowly, a new war began to form. In 31 BC, A great battle took place near Actium. It was a naval battle between Antony, Cleopatra, and Octavian. Both sides had many ships. The battle lasted for hours, but Antony and Cleopatra began to lose. Suddenly, Cleopatra ordered a retreat. Her ships turned away. Antony followed her. This caused confusion among their forces. Many felt betrayed. They gave up. They surrendered to Octavian. Antony and Cleopatra returned to Egypt. They knew the war was not over, but they also knew their chances of victory were fading. After the defeat, Mark Antony and Cleopatra returned to Egypt. They knew Octavian would come. They tried to prepare. They searched for allies, but no one wanted to help them. Octavian was too strong. A year later, his army entered Egypt. The final battle took place. Antony lost again. In despair, he heard that Cleopatra had died. The news was not true, but he believed it. He was overwhelmed with grief. He stabbed himself with a sword. When he learned Cleopatra was still alive, it was too late. He was too weak. He was brought to her, and he died in her arms. It was a tragic end for a powerful general. Now Cleopatra was alone. Octavian captured her. He treated her with respect, but she was still a prisoner. Cleopatra understood what would happen. She would be taken to Rome. She would be displayed before the crowd. People would see her as a defeated queen. This was the worst fate for her. Cleopatra could not accept it. She thought deeply. She had once been powerful. She had once controlled a great kingdom, and now she had nothing. But she still had one choice left. One final choice. A choice that no one could take away from her. On August 1230 BC, Cleopatra died. She was 39 years old. No one knows exactly what happened. Some say she was bitten by a snake. Others say she used poison. But one thing is certain. She chose her own death. She did not let Octavian decide her fate. She refused to be a prisoner. She kept her final freedom. After her death, Egypt lost its independence. The country became part of Roman Empire. Cleopatra was the last pharaoh. After her, there were no more kings or queens of Egypt. The story of Cleopatra is more than 2000 years old, but people still remember her. Why? Because she was different. She was a woman in a world of powerful men, but she was not weak. She used her intelligence. She learned many languages. She read books. She understood the world. She did not rely only on beauty. She used her mind. Of course, she was not perfect. She made mistakes. Some of her decisions led to failure. But she fought until the end. She never gave up. And that is why people still remember her. And there is one very important thing. When we learn English today, we are doing something similar to what Cleopatra did. She learned languages to connect with the world, and so do we. Every new word is a step forward. Every story is a lesson. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to keep learning, keep listening, and keep improving every day. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel to watch more interesting stories, and leave a comment if you want to hear the next story. Your journey of learning English has only just begun.